stay in the waters of the world, but don't let the water contaminate you. Even though you may feel that you are in despair, that it's not possible for you. But if you have done sadhana in a sustained manner, your sat sankalpa has not failed. Satsanga has a profound impact. It has profound purpose. The more people come together for any good project, from a broad point of view, is satsanga. Radiation from the minds of so many come together and become a collective force that begins to help everybody. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Sarvamangala Mangalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trayambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om Akshasrak Parasham Gadeshu Kulisham Padmam Dhanusha Kundikam Dandam Shaktimasim Charma Jalajam Ghanta Surabhajanam Shulam Pasha Sudarshane Chadadhatim Hastaiha Pravala Prabham Seve Sariva Manbardinim Iha Maa Lakshmi Sarojasthitam. I adore Goddess Maa Lakshmi. To understand the difference between just Lakshmi and Maa Lakshmi. Lakshmi presence is very gentle, gracious. She stands on the lotus and flowers come from her. She may stand on the elephant also, and flower shower. But Maa Lakshmi comes on a big tiger, a big spear in her hand, and you see a buffalo crushed by her and her tiger. So that's Maa Lakshmi. Figure that out, how to match up. There is the contradiction, the idea. The role of Lakshmi is brought in from advanced point of view in Durga Saptashati. So I adore Goddess Maa Lakshmi, the destroyer of the demon Mahishasur. The Sanskrit word for Mahisha is Sariv. Sariva Mardinim. And Sariv is a little twist of Saurabh. Saurabh means fragrance. But twist the Saurabh, becomes Sariv. If mind is purified, the divine presence expresses through purified impressions, like a sun expressing through a soft cloud. Then it is Saurabh. But if the cloud becomes opaque, and how does it become opaque? By klishta vrittis. If mind has sustained anger, greed, hate, etc., and from a very broader point of view, if mind goes on sustaining avidya, ignorance, egoism, attachment, hatred, fear of death, these are called kleshas. So klesha-based vasana brings out such bad smell the Saurav becomes Sariv. And that's where comes also the terms Sargaya, something rotten. We seated on the lotus with a joyous face in different aspects. In this stotra, they are highlighting the lotus. Lotus is expression of the heart that's filled with Shubha Vasana. Same heart that is onion, garlic blended source. Now it becomes the joyous, wafting the fragrance of eternity. She holds in her hand rosary, I will just give you simple meaning behind. The rosary is called HH Swami. It's a devotional mala. Aksha refers to the eyes. Shrak allows your vision to shine and refers to mala, rosary. Parashum, axe. Axe relates to knowledge, jnana. All the realm of ignorance is described as a big tree. And jnana is described as a parashu that cuts down the tree. Gada, mace. It's the strength of virya. When faith has come to another stage of faith has become dynamic, then that stage is called virya. When faith-based movement, think of you wake up, I'm dramatizing in an ugly way, and you are not young enough, so you walk till में आते हुए shaking. With the same you go to a temple backed up by faith. Now you show up as amazing strength. You didn't know you had that. So that type of strength is called virya. The moral of the story, don't worry about your strength. You have amazing strength here. Because God is the source within you. So that's represented by her mace, which also does the work of Gadapari, hammering down in such a way that all that is positive goes deeper and deeper. Healthy insight becomes firm. Every nail that is pushed into your brain is hammered down so that it remains unshaken. Don't think negatively about it. Issue, arrows of pure thoughts. Kulisham, thunderbolt. There are times when their obstacles have reached a kind of a stormy situation, and then divine movement creates an amazing, a miraculous expression of energy, breaks down all that stormy situation with a weapon that you cannot imagine It's called Vajra. And that is described as thunderbolt. Out of the sky that is calm and just see little clouds. But hardly you are looking at it. The thunderbolt crashes right in front of you. Fortunately not on you, but on a tree. See the whole tree crushed. So that type of strength, all these are allegorical to describe what type of strength is waiting to help you if you follow the spiritual path. Padmam, lotus. Lotus gives you two types of insight. Firstly, stay in the waters of the world, but don't let the water contaminate you. Water drops stay on the lotus petals, they shine. But one little breeze, that's moved away. Lotus is completely untouched. So lotus gives you that type of message. The practice of asanga, not to be glued to the world, but become more and more drawn to God within you through satsanga. And lotus becomes a symbol of all divine qualities. Dhanush refers to bow. Bow is mind that is laden with pure will, known as satsankalpas. As you advance, you develop an inner will that I will attain enlightenment. And no matter how things go, that will remains deeply embedded in your unconscious. So, even though you may feel that you are in despair, that it's not possible for you, but if you have done sadhana in a sustained manner, your satsankalpa has not failed. It stays within you. In other words, what you bring within your unconscious, that has a predominating role than your conscious field of conscious experience. So therefore, a special type of patience must develop in every individual. Wait, watch. Dut, hut. Dut means just stay firm. And then watch with wonder how things that frightened you have just scattered until there occurs fat. The veil of illusion is broken. To complete this formula, I use 4 mantras. Raat. Raat term means do japa. Recite. Prayers, all comes under Raat. Then Dat. Raat relates to lower chakra, Swadhisthana. Dat relates to your navel center, Kriya Shakti. Hut relates to your heart center. You see the ugly vasanas moving away, and Shubh vasanas coming up. Fat relates to your Agya chakra. Veil is broken. Rat, dat, hat, fat. Om Shri Maa Lakshmi Ram. Kundikam, she holds a pitcher containing a special liquid. That liquid relates to Ritambhara Prajna, truth-filled vision. Dandam, she holds a rod as if to beat the forces of darkness. Shaktim, in modern terminology, the Shaktim relates to bombs. They are infallible weapons. Asim, sword, relates to subtle intellect. Charm, also she is armored with grace. Jalajam relates to Kanch. Kanch came out of the waters of the ocean according to Puranic story. And that Kanch is the awakener, awakening the awareness of who you are. And Ghanta, bell. Ghanta relates to things that you discover within yourself. And in popular language you say, oh, it rang the bell. Nobody rang the bell. But it rang the bell. And you are reminded of that bell ringing in temple. The real bell rings. All temple rituals, they are all become allegorical to help you to move into the deeper level of your personality. So just don't stay satisfied with the bell ringing. Let the spiritual bell ring within you. And Sura Bhajanam. Sura Bhajanam relates to wine cup. The cup of your heart. Bring your heart is a gagar, a jar. Bring the sagar into the gagar. Bring the ocean into the little jar. The jar has to be mad to get the whole ocean. So it is a wine cup, a mysterious cup. Simple way to understand, that's it. Entering into the realm of samadhi that enables you to discover you are not limited to your body. Rather, the entire world experience is limited to your consciousness. Your consciousness, Chit, Chaitanya. But that type of understanding is as if putting ocean into your little heart. And that type of vision is a mystical wine. And if you get addicted to that, there is no harm. Rather, that's the only thing that will help you. Normal mind will not lead you to liberation. Mind has to become intoxicated by the celestial experience. When Sur reaches into higher level, it becomes Sura. Sur is putting in attunement, putting all your chords in perfect harmony with Sur. And when you are flowing with this Sur and dancing with it, Mahishasura. And all those who are involved in it, they are Sundari. Okay, I've gotten into too much. Let's see now the storyline. In ancient time, gods and demons continue to fight for 100 years. Not our years, the heavenly years. And the lord of the demons, he was Mahishasur. Two Sanskrit words, Sariv and Mahisha. Mahish, they are synonyms. If you want to know the meaning of Mahish, buffalo, Ma relates to Amrita, nectar. His term, you move away from nectar. His is variation of hinsa, hymns. Cut down your Amrita movement by being a buffalo-headed person. And in a very practical way, if you watch buffalo mentality, buffalo has found something inimical, then buffalo will shoot, putting its head first, not considering head will be smashed, that's bad. And secondly, not having the vision of what will happen. What if the buffalo is running after may end up with buffalo falling into a big ditch. Buffalo won't care. Once it has made a target, go after it. That's a crude illustration of narrow-mindedness. Certain degree of narrow-mindedness is always there. That has to be cut down by sadhana. And Indra was the ruler of gods. All these gods, along with Indra, they were defeated by Mahishasur. Therefore, to remedy this terrible situation, gods led by Brahma, the creator, went to that heavenly realm where Lord Shiva and Vishnu both were present. And they presented all their predicaments, all about the battle and all their tragic experiences. They said, O Lord, Mahishasur has taken over all the great offices that are conducted by sun, Indra, fire god, air god, moon, Yama, god of death, Varuna, and others. All their offices are there, but the gods are not there. The demons are there. Sun is shining, but sun is not coming to illumine you. The demon has gone into with the sun. All this is highly allegorical, it's not literal. You have to understand the deeper meaning, which simply means when mind is dominated by negative vasanas, impure vasanas. The very same sun that will give you energy to do good things now is giving you energy to plan out your evil deeds. So sun looks the same. But now Mahishasur is operating through that sun. And likewise, all elements that are divine essentially, now they begin to operate in a negative way. With that type of conditioned mind, you live in the world, but you are living under Mahishasur type of restriction. Therefore, all the resources that would have given you good health, inspiration, progress, they are creating negative karmas and putting the soul into a state of quagmire. Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva, they listened to the complaints that gods had brought before them. And gods were watching what are these greatest deities going to do. But all they see is Lord Vishnu and Lord Shiva. Their brows became curled, and beautiful mouth became twisted. That's the literary beauty of this story. And a divine effulgence emanated from Lord Vishnu's face. And likewise, to their surprise, effulgence began to emanate from all gods, even all those who had come complaining. They had that divine source, and they began to ooze out of their personalities shining radiance from every god. Shiva and Vishnu were the first, and then all others. All that radiance that expressed, they come into the form of a great mountain, a luminous mountain. It's uncomparable. Nowhere in the world can you have any comparison. And all that came to form an amazing personality of goddess Maa Lakshmi. Further description, the effulgence from Lord Shankara, Shiva, created Devi's face. The effulgence of god of death brought out her black hair, which is good. The effulgence from Lord Vishnu, expressed in the form of her arms, many arms. The effulgence from the moon formed her breasts. Effulgence from Brahma formed her feet. Effulgence from sun god formed her fingers. Effulgence from Kubera, the god of treasure, formed her nostrils. Things of value are allegorically pointed to the nose. And the effulgence of the Creator, Brahma, formed her teeth. And her 3 eyes emerged out of the effulgence of the fire god. Her eyebrows were formed by the goddess presiding over Sandhya, morning twilight, evening twilight. And the effulgence of the wind god formed her ears. All the details, they become like a story, but you don't have to really go into it. Simply understand that cosmic power, cosmic mother who expressed as Durga Devi to awaken Lord Vishnu and to destroy Madhu and Kaitaba. The same mother now is operating in an advanced level. And that emergence of that mother is linked to satsanga. This is an allegorical picture of what happens when people come to satsanga. In an allegorical way, gods didn't know what will be the answer. All they did, they came to Lord Vishnu and Shiva. And they also were dumb, they didn't know what to do. But effulgence started coming up from everybody. So, satsanga has a profound impact. It has profound purpose. The more people come together for any good project, from broad point of view, is satsanga. Any good act, you draw many people towards you. Now it gathers a special power, sourced by divine source, divine mother. And from a very practical point of view, the role of coming together to listen to these teachings of the sages, the Vedic wisdom. Even though you may feel, oh, I have so many problems, how can all that happen? But what happens? Radiation from the minds of so many come together and become a collective force that begins to help everybody. With the sole purpose of destroying that negative, that mala, that gross impurity that makes human mind work like a buffalo. Manda buddhi is cut down by satsanga. This is an allegorical way of bringing out the glory of satsanga. Otherwise, philosophical way, just one sentence. Satsangatve nihasangatvam. Go into satsanga, I will be detached. Nihasangatve niramohatvam. If you don't have attachment, moha will not be there. Niramohatve nischalatatvam. Niramoha, you are fixed. Nischal tattva jivan mukti. What is that? What is liberation? How many will be inspired by that state? And now you are seeing the practical reality. What does satsanga do? Firstly, what is predicament? Without satsanga, the same resources of nature that's constantly putting your mind in a negative way, allowing the demoniac qualities to flourish. Now with satsanga, an amazing force begins to operate for him against that demoniac buffalo. Still, the complete picture has not come. The scripture now says, when all that came in and began to shape the form of Devi, Lord Shiva, from his Trishul, another Trishul emerged, and that Lord Shiva offered to the Devi. Shiva's Trishul, Lord Vishnu, from his chakra there arose another chakra. So when they gave all those, they were not empty. Varuna, god of waters, presented Kanch. Fire god gave a special Shakti, a special type of weapon. Wind god gave bow and arrows. In brief, Indra, out of his Vajra, they have developed another Vajra. Indra gave that Vajra. Vajra is thunderbolt. Even his elephant became charitable. Indra's elephant, who had a wonderful bell ringing by the neck, shook his neck, another bell came and came to offer to Devi. And Devi has lots of hands, so she has no problem. Yama gave Kaladanda, rod of amazing power. Varuna gave noose. Noose is a kind of weapon that traps. An enemy is coming with big force, and suddenly something like a rope entwines the person. That's called noose. Now the person can't move. All these are different operations of spiritual movement in every personality. Sometimes you are very angry and now suddenly you get paralyzed. The Devi would let your anger do anything wrong. Brahma presented her with his kamandalu, the vase that contains in Brahma's possession, vase contains Ganges water, the water of wisdom. Sun God presented his rays that made every pore of that Devi, every rome, every little hair in the body shining with light. Kala, god of death, gave shield and sword. The very deity of milky ocean gave her beautiful diamond necklace, ujjwal. Every necklace bead was shining, pure white. And also gave a pair of robes for the Devi, the robes that will never be spoiled, will continue always fresh. I'm shortening the description. All the deity of the mountain Himalayas gave her lion to ride on, a special lion. Lion is that mystical strength. And Kubera, god of treasure. Wherever there is a lot of treasure and money business, people have a party where they give some drinks. The god of treasure gave a vessel filled with madhu, honey, golden vessel. And Sheshanag, who holds this universe on his many hoods, gave to her Nagahar, a special type of jewels, according to the stories, come special snakes, the jewels that shine. Mystically, these are all amazing powers of thought, divine thoughts. Thoughts are the hoods of the snake. The snake is Kundalini, cosmic power. All gods gave their offerings. And then, as this whole process of offering was concluding, the Devi began to laugh, called attahas. Laughter can reach as attalikas. You laugh here, many stories building up will hear your laughter. It's called attahas. All this world became filled with that sound of that laughter. The world resonated with that laughter. The space itself seemed little to handle that type of laughter. All these are allegorical, simply implying if you have the revelation of divine within, that revelation you cannot put it in your space. The space term that you have in your mind, even all the geographical space, that's not resolution to your problem. All the space is there, but don't feel spacious. See, space has three levels. Bhutakash, physical space, which has its purpose in a realistic way, but not intrinsic way. And then you have psychic ether, chittakash. You have to have room in your head, in your mind, to let thoughts move. And that space in which the thoughts operate, that space, if you have to give any comparison, cannot compare with physical space. Totally beyond imagination. And then ultimately, space of all space, Chidakash, that's the Atma, the self, God, Brahman. So her laughter filled all forms of space. And the fact is, in satsanga, you are developing that awareness. This is already a constant reality. Brahman alone is. All is filled by Brahman. But there are muck in the ears. Fortunately, that has been removed by the first worship. Not completely. Now, the buffalo mind has created a lot of pollution. Her presence created a tremendous agitation in the three lokas, three planes, physical, subtle, causal. The earth began to shiver, mountains began to shake, and gods rejoiced this powerful emergence of the Devi and said, "Oh Devi, Jai, Jai, glory to." And Mahishasur came to know this. He summoned his demoniac army. He attacked the Devi with a vast army with him. And Devi assumed most majestic form with 1,000 arms, and her crown of her head created luminous lines in the akasha, in the sky, and the sound of her bow filled the world with amazing vibrations. Behind all that, subtler meaning is now the demons who attacked Devi. Now, instead of my going through all the details, I'm just giving you. They represent Asuri Sampats. Gods represent Devi Sampat. Devi Sampat means all divine virtues. Good-heartedness, compassion, humility, fearlessness, forgiveness, straightforwardness. All these are gods. They were fighting on one side with the Devi. And demons, Chikshura, Chamara, Udagra, Mahahanu, Asiloma, Yaskala, Vaskala, Parivrarit, Dvidal. Let me give you the meaning. Chikshur. Kshu refers to eyes, you see, but Chikshur is eyes that are veiled. It's avarana, veiling. That which enhances your ignorance. These are they constitute the generals of the demoniac army. Chamara, it relates to pride. Chamar relates to something you hold on your head to highlight your head. Udagra, that relates to fear. Mahahanu, Hanu is chin. Chin has become so swollen up, you see. That's a description of conceit. Asiloma. Loma relates to the hairs within your body. Asi, as if thorn has entered into every room. That demoniac experience, the simple name is Chinta. When worry overcomes you, your whole body is under that influence, even from physical point of view, medical point of view. And mind, that is forgetting its real purposeful project, forgetting the purpose of life, just is driven by Vishaya Vasana, desires for pleasure, eat, drink, be merry, and go on finding where you can get better and better of this eat, drink, be merry. Lots of hotels. And there are many unknown sources where wild people sit together and enjoy, and you don't know what type of taste they are having. So be curious. Life is short. Pleasures are plenty. That type of vasa is called vaskal. From that comes rascal. Next is parivarit, referring to greed. That's the third class relationships, when people go on building parivarits, developing their parivar. But all they do is their mind. How much money I'm getting. I'm joking a little bit, but greed is behind it. And another general known as Bidal. He's a cat. It's a cattish trick, which means very soft. It's a symbol of moha. Deluded love. You become a cat. Pure love will make you lion. Okay. With this I'm going to conclude for today. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Aim Saraswatyai Namah. Om Shri Maa Lakshmi Namah. Om Dum Durgayai Namah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Archana of the Devi. Om Prakrityai Namah, Vikrityai Namah, Vidyayai Namah, Sarvabhutita Pradayai Namah, Shraddhayai Namah, Vibhutyai Namah, Suramyai Namah, Paramatmikayai Namah, Vache Namah, Padmalayai Namah, Padmayai Namah, Shuchayai Namah, Swahayai Namah, Swadhayai Namah, Sudhayai Namah, Dhanyayai Namah, Hiranmayai Namah, Lakshmi Namah, Nityapushtaye Namah, Vibhavarye Namah, Dityay Namah, Dityay Namah, Deeptaye Namah, Vasudhaye Namah, Vasudharinye Namah, Kamalaye Namah, Kantaye Namah, Kamakshay Namah, Krodha Sambhavaye Namah, Anugraha Paraye Namah, Buddhye Namah, Anaghaye Namah, Harivallabhaye Namah, Ashokaye Namritaye Namah, Deeptaye Namah, Lokashoka Vinashinyay Namah, Om Prakrityai Namah. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Jai Jai Arati Vighna Vinayak. Vighna Vinayak Shri Ganesha. Jai Jai Arati Subramanya. Subramanya Kartikeya. Jai Jai Arati Venugopala. Venugopala. Venulola Papa Vidura Navnita Chora Jai Jai Arati Venkataramana Venkataramana Sankataharana Sitarama Radhishyama Jai Jai Arati Gauri Manohar Gauri Manohar Bhavani Shankara Samba Sadashiva Uma Maheshwara Jai Jai Arati Raja Rajeshwari Raja Rajeshwari Tripura Sundari Mahakali Maa Lakshmi Mahasaraswati Mahashakti Jai Jai Arati Anjaneya Anjaneya Hanumanta Jai Jai Arati Dattatreya Dattatreya Trimurti Avatara Jai Jai Arati शनैश्वराय शनैश्वराय भास्कराय जय जय आरती। सद्गुरुनाथ सद्गुरुनाथ शिवानंद जय जय आरती। वेणुगोपाला ओम न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्र तारकम नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतो यमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति। ओम श्री महालक्ष्मी नमः। ओम हम हनुमते नमः। शांति।